Yo, yo, this is it. I'm Mr. Faye, and you're listening to Attacking the Beats on IllMuzik.com. So we got another 5 beats this week, and, this is good. I mean, I got a lot of beats still. I got a lot of stuff, man. I know people send in beats, they upload them. They're like, yo, Faye, did you check it out right away? And I'm like, no, look, I'm busy, man. I got shit to do. But whatever, I don't know. Keep sending it in, though. And I'm trying to do them as fast as I can, man, but whatever. All right, so we'll get to it right away. First up, we've got Huggy HG. Guesswork. Let's check it out. All right. Okay, so that was Huggy HG with Guesswork. Now, first off, thanks for destroying my eardrums for that. Oh, man, I had my headphones a little too high, and then I played the beat, and then it's like that beginning part, just a crackle or whatever. I was like, fuck, what the hell? Anyway, so thank God I got 2 ears, right? Actually, it was both ears. So, but yeah, all right. So this is a nice beat. I like this shit. But the mix, man, I don't know. I mean, how do you get it that loud? I don't know. That was pretty in the red, man. I mean, but it's not distorted, but it's very loud. So it's you and there's 3 guys, man. I think it's only 3 guys. You, Susio, and Hard Boiled. You guys, man, your mixes are just like boom, 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 boom. I mean, which is good, but at the same time, it's like, okay, you need to relax a bit, but whatever. But all right, so but no, it's a nice beat. I love what you do with the synth, good synth work, and the drums. Like how it's just all chill and laid back. But the thing is that at a personal preference, I mean, well, first of all, I gotta take a point off for destroying my eardrums. But personal preference is that I was waiting for some drums to drop in. Even though I love what you did, it's just that I was just waiting, like around maybe the 45-second mark. I'm like, okay, maybe it's gonna drop in like a nice kick and a snare, but it didn't happen. So, but honestly, I would love to hear that, but with a hard kick and snare come in, because you have that over a smooth beat. That'd be really nice, man. Try that shit. I'd love to see that. Love to hear that, I should say. Love to hear that. So, all right. So, what we got? Okay, next up we got Jen with Legend. Let's check it out.
Jen faded this one.
All right. Okay, so that was Jen with Legend. All right, so this one, it's one of those beats, man, where it's, fuck, I say that with every beat. It's one of those beats, but no, it's one of those beats where it's just, it starts off really nice, but then it just kind of drifts off. You know what I mean? Like, I like the synth. I really like that synth, what you did with it. To me, what throws it off is the little keys, the piano part. I would just get rid of that part. Because the drums are nice. You got a nice drum track. It's fitting. It hits hard and all that. Plus, you got that synth. It's good, But I was waiting maybe about after the 8th bar, let's say. I was waiting for a bass line to drop in. So you need to add some kind of bass line. But to complement that nice synth that you have, you got to add something on top. So you got that piano, which is not good. I don't like that piano. But I think that synth would go great with a piano. If you try to find like a sampled piano, so sample some kind of piano. Yeah, if you could find some kind of sample so that you could, of a piano, so that you could just take that part and add that to your synth, with the drums, that'd be perfect. And then add a bass line, So I think it would sound a lot better. It's always better when you have like a sampled piano, because when you use some kind of VST for your piano, whatever, it works, but you still got to filter it pretty much, because you want to make it match. You don't want to, you want to have to make it sound good, so it doesn't sound like it's a digital, piano. You don't want to make it cheesy or whatever, So, but anyway, yeah, if I were you, I would get some piano from a sample and add that, and I think it would make a world of difference. Because the drums, nothing wrong with the drums, they're great. That synth is great. I think all you need is a sample piano and a bass line. Add that shit in, and you'll have a really dope beat there. So, all right. So next up, who we got here? Next up, we got Rotus with Consciousness. Let's check it out. All right. Okay, so that was Rotus with Consciousness. All right, so this is nice because you got a sample piano, right? Like I was just saying to Jen previously, So Jen, if you're still listening, piano like this, something like this, with your beat, I think would sound a lot better. So, all right. So in this case, though, with this beat, the piano is good. It's a nice sample, but there's times when you have a sample where even though it sounds like a good tune and all that stuff, the actual sample itself, it's muffled and lo-fi and stuff, and sometimes it works, but sometimes it doesn't. So it's very hard to fix shit like that because it's just audio, right? You're just sampling audio, and I had that problem years ago when I was making some beat, and I found this really dope piano, and I was like, fuck it, I'm using it because it was just good, and I was like, I got to use this shit. So anyway, I made a beat with it, but I had to make everything else sound, similar to the sample, because you don't want this muffled piano, and that's what it was, muffled piano, with some hype, drums are nice and crystal clear. You don't want that. So in your case, you could try to, make it a little bit clearer, the sample, but you don't want to distort it too much. So I would say, just try to make your drums and everything else, just make it, fit around that sample. So with that being said, though, for the drums, they're a little, it's a simple pattern, whatever, but your snare and hat are panned to the left a little. So I would fix that, put it in the center. And to add more excitement, I would say you could add a reverb, just a slight reverb to the snare, just to give it some more space, make everything sound a little more exciting. And add a bass line, of course. You're missing a bass line. That would make a big difference in your beat. And if you did that, then, you'd have a much more exciting sounding beat, because, it's a nice piano. It's a nice tune, and the drums sound okay, but they need some more excitement to them. So, I would try that, man. Try that. All right. So, who we got here? Next up, we got Solution with, I don't know, Moodip. I don't know what the hell that is. Muudip. I don't know what the hell that's supposed to be. But I'm going to call it Moodip, unless there's something I'm missing here. I don't. Maybe it's some slang all you young people use today. I don't know. All right, let's check it out. All right. Okay, so that was Solution with Moodip. All right, so see, what's interesting about this beat is that it starts off really nice, okay? But then once the main music comes in, it just completely goes off track, So honestly, if I were you, I'd keep the beginning part, okay? The rest, get rid of it, because it just doesn't sound good. It sounds out of tune, actually. So I would keep the beginning part. It does sound good, your kick and snare and that little melody you got going on and stuff. Stick with that because it sounds nice. I thought something hype was going to come in. So do that, add a wicked bass line to it, and in your case, add some strings on top of it, and I think you'd have a nice hype beat there. Because the rest of it, no, man. I mean, I would say just keep the beginning. It really does sound good. The snare, though, it does end abruptly. So I would say, get another snare, something that smacks a little more, add some reverb or whatever, and it will sound a lot more exciting, the drum track right there. And that plus your melody, your bass line, it will sound really, really nice. Because the rest, that really threw me off. I was like, okay, this is not good. Like, it just didn't, especially then you had like the flute part come in and stuff. And I wasn't feeling that at all and stuff, because not just the fact that the flute didn't sound good, but it's just that it's like I didn't know where you were going with the beat. Like, it's just like you were trying to change it up, but I didn't know what you were doing with it and stuff. So, but it didn't sound good anyway, so that's why like I would just do away with that, because the beginning part, that's the best part, man. It just sounds like something hype's about to come in, but it doesn't. So that's why it's like, keep looping that shit, add some extra, add some strings on top of that and the nice bass line. Then you could just keep going with that, and you add maybe some, I don't know, piano or whatever, some vocal snippets or something, and that would really sound nice, man. Yeah, keep doing that. All right, so next up we've got the last beats, Tim D with Filtered Bomb Water. Let's check it out.
Ooh, you gotta sweet that.
See that now, but I don't understand. Why not?
All right. Okay, so that was Tim D with Filtered Bomb Water. All right, so this track, it's a good one because it's a nice tune. Like, it's a nice flow to it, let's say. But the main thing I wasn't crazy about was the fact that I didn't know where you were going with the beat. It just seems like you were trying to use every possible sound you could find. You know what I mean? So in some cases that works, I guess, but in this case, no, it didn't work because it's like you just keep adding in something new, and I was like, okay, I don't know what you're doing here and stuff. So there's no in other words, there's no consistent pattern, let's say. So besides that, though, the kick, I would say lower the kick a bit because it was a little too distorted. So, distorted, not too distorted, but distorted, period. So, lower the kick a bit. And that key, that little sample you got there with the keys there, it sounds nice, but I don't know if you can edit it a little more because I can hear it's got, I guess it's a sample. So it's got some noise around it or whatever. So if you could try to edit that shit so it doesn't sound so noisy, let's say, I can hear it, so if you could do that and then add a bass line. I know you used the 808 at one point, using that throughout and stuff, but honestly, add a bass line to this shit. It'll make a world of difference. It really will. I always say that to people, man. Add a bass line, I've been working on my bass lines a lot, and I think it just makes the beat sound so much better, really it does. So add a bass line, and the drums are good and everything, although some stuff is a little bit to the right, so anyway, but yeah, the main thing is just, don't use so many sounds, get a nice pattern going, lower that kick, add a bass line, because like I said, it just seems like the beat's all over the place, let's say. So even though it sounds good what you're using, it's just that, like I said, there's no patterns, nothing consistent. So that's the main thing I took away from this. But yeah, all right. Okay, so that's it for me, Mr. Fade. This is Attack of the Beats. Keep sending in your beats. I'll keep reviewing them. And my favorite beat this week, the winner is, drumroll please, Huggy HG with Guesswork. Let's check it out.